Hi, it's Frank Versace with Versace Real Estate, and today we're going to take a look at what happened in the Winnipeg real estate market for August 2018. Stick around. All right, so let's get into the numbers and take a look at what's happening for August here in the Winnipeg real estate market. What we're finding in the month of August is that, again, the numbers are down very slightly. So we've got about a 5% decline in unit sales. That's the number of properties that sold in Winnipeg for the month of August. So we're down 5%. So what happened was last month in August, we actually sold 1,222 units or properties sold versus the year previous. In August in 2017, we sold 1,288 properties. So there's our decline by about 5%. Now, what about year to date? We're starting to compile some pretty good numbers. So we can start looking at year to date with some significance here because we're about 8 months through with the end of August. And so far year to date, we're about 6% down. So we're starting to catch up a little bit on our year to date numbers. We were down around 7, 8, 9% before. Now we're getting right back up to that negative 6%. So we're still down, but not as bad. So what do the year to date numbers look like? Well, year to date in the month of August for 2018, we have sold 9,166 properties, whereas last year by August 2017, we were at 9,796 properties. So a bit of a decline there, but let's take a look at what's happening for specific property types. For year to date here in the homes sold, we're looking at selling so far 6,704 houses. Whereas last year at this time we sold 7,137 houses, which puts us down at about 6%. So there's our kind of 6% at par for the market when we compare market to houses. Where we're seeing the bigger difference is in the condo market. So last year we sold 1,290 condo units by this time in August, whereas this year we've sold 1,167 condo units. So our condo units sold year to date is down about 10%. And that's where we're seeing a bit of a decrease in the market, more so than in homes. What about for days on market? How long is it taking to get a house sold in Winnipeg? So far year to date, if we look at the numbers, as of August, it's taking about 28 days to get a home sold, so a house sold. So that's still fairly quick and a good turnaround. So if you find a good deal as a buyer, you still want to jump on the property because it's probably going to go very quickly. As a seller, you can kind of bank on about 30 days, about a month to get your home sold on average. Of course, if you price it well, you've got a great realtor and who's negotiating really strong for you with fantastic marketing, of course, you're going to sell a little bit faster, and the reverse is true if it's the other way around. Now, what about for condos? Well, we know condo markets has softened a little bit. So as of August here this year, average time to sell a condo is about 44 days. So we're seeing a little bit of an increase in the amount of time it takes to clear out some of that condo inventory. What I thought I'd share with you here on this video is we take a look at some of the areas that had the most unit sales. And for houses, the area that had the most unit sales was the area of Waverly West, or what we call 1R, when we break up our city into categories and codes. So in the MLS system, we have an area called 1R, which is Waverly West. That's Bridgewater, that's South Point, and Bridgewater Lakes, of course. And so in that area, year to date, we have had about 234 houses that have sold with an average price point in that area of about $510,000. And days on market to get a property sold in the area of 1R for houses is running at about 29 days. So that's kind of our most active area, and sort of rightfully so. It's a newer area with a lot of up and coming homes, some turnaround going on over there as far as inventory goes, and there's still some new construction happening in that area as well. So it stands to reason one of the larger areas of the city is going to have a lot more sales as far as compared to some other areas. What about for condos? Well, for condos in the area of 1B, which is sort of that Crescentwood area, there's been 89 condo sales year to date, January to end of August here, 2018. And the average price in that area for condos is $244,000. So quite a a significant and kind of a healthy number for condos, especially with that amount of unit sales. And how long is it taking to get a condo sold in that area with the most sales? And it's running about 40 days. So if we know, average time citywide to get a condo sold is 44 days, that area is sitting at 40 days, kind of on par with the city. What about highest price, lowest price? People love to see these numbers. In Winnipeg here, our highest price sale in the month of August was $1.7 million. So a nice top-end property. It's going to be a nice luxury property, of course, for the market of Winnipeg. What about for lowest price house in Winnipeg? Came in at $11,000. I don't know where that is, but apparently there was a property that sold for $11,000. Again, just showing the vast diversity of the Winnipeg real estate market. Now, the last thing I want to share here with you is the above, at, and below list numbers, because those are pretty telling, both as a seller and as a buyer. As a seller, you would love to be in the at or above price category, and as a buyer, you want to be buying property below list price. So let's take a look and see where we stand in all those categories. So the numbers for above list price show that on average here, about 20% of the properties, that's 1 in 5, are selling above their list price. Now, it's not meaning that they're selling for dramatically above list, but they are getting over their listed price number. So 1 in 5 chance as a seller, as a buyer, you can expect to pay more than what the seller is asking for. What about at list? That's the seller puts the home on the market for their number and they get right at their number. Well, about 8% of the time that the seller puts their list price, they're going to get their exact numbers. So again, 8% of the time as a buyer, you go in, you see the list price, 8% of the time, you're going to end up paying that exact number. What about below list? This is the number that buyers love to see as well. It's the numbers that sellers don't really particularly like to take a look at. So below list, that's when a seller puts their home on the market. What is the percentage of the time that it's going to sell for under their asking number? The chances are 72% of the time a seller will get less than what they're asking for. Again, as a buyer, you're going to be happy with that. 72% of the time, you're going to get a better deal than what the seller's asking for their home. So as a seller, how do you avoid that? How do you get into the at or above list category? Well, that's going to come back to making sure, again, that your price is properly priced in the market, that you've got a very strong agent who's doing some fantastic marketing for you, who's a strong negotiator, who's going to stick and hold to your number as close as they can, and that we're going to drive buyer demand into your home, as many eyeballs as we can into the property. So that's what you want as a seller. As a buyer, you're going to want a realtor who's a same thing, strong negotiator for you, able to identify market opportunities where they're looking for homes that have been on the market for a little while. Maybe they're vacant, maybe the seller's got to move for whatever reason, and now the realtor's identifying those properties for you and putting you into the category where you're able to get a better price on the home in that 72% below market price. And so what you want is an agent that's going to properly represent you depending on what side of the transaction you are. And so I hope that you've enjoyed this information. Certainly we would love here at Versace Real Estate to help you either to buy, to sell, or invest in real estate. Maybe you've got some friends, family members, co-workers that are also looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. We would love your referrals and to be able to be of service. So I hope this information has been helpful for you. Of course, real estate is your largest asset, so it makes sense to keep an eye on what's going on. And until we meet next time, have a great day and take care.